Hello, my name is Holly Reynolds. I am in SP251. My story speech is about healing in prison and how it saved my life. Um, I never thought I'd find it there. I noticed that being willing to surrender is a big key to finding the salvation that you need sometimes. I had a life that I never thought I would dig myself out of. I was sad, I was hurt, I was angry. I had lost faith in humanity, I had lost faith in myself, and I never thought I would ever get out of the hole that I had dug myself into. Um, I kind of wandered around in a daze, basically waiting for the big sleep to come, and it never did. I was scared, I was tired, and I didn't know what to do with myself. There's a lot of factors that will bring women into prison. There's actually a rise in women in prison right now, and I learned that firsthand. I was able to see some factors by listening to other people's stories and hearing about their lives that I could apply to my own life. So the statistics behind it are actually very eye-opening. There tends to be a lot of abuse. I'm not going to go into the types of abuse, but abuse is a huge factor. With the abuse happening, it can go into affecting a person's mental stability. And once that happens, it can kind of set you on a very bad decision making path. Um, Sometimes good families produce bad children, and bad families produce good children. Um, but it's not always like that. So it's hard to figure out exactly what it is. But from my experience, I learned it is what you make of it. Women have a tendency to end up being alone sometimes. Um, and that being alone will lead you to make some bad decisions. And when you have kids to feed and rent to pay, you will figure out what you have to do. Not everybody's towns and avenues are the same. Not saying that crime is okay. Sometimes you need to resort to certain things. Hopefully, you don't hurt nobody in the process. Um, I feel like there's a tendency for women to be unprotected nowadays. With our whole women's lib, we can fend for ourselves, we can take care of ourselves. But a lot of us get hurt in the process. We don't bounce back from it sometimes. And all in all, we pay for our decisions that we make. There are consequences for every action, and every action gets a reaction. But if you can make the best of the situation with what you have at the end, come to grips with your consequences and know what you've done wrong, sit with yourself for a little while, make amends with yourself, make amends with the people who you've hurt. Keep yourself safe, love yourself enough to change. A place like prison can be a healing place. It's not always the best situation, and hopefully it doesn't always come to that. But if it does, I hope that my story will be able to be shared with other women who've been in situations like mine, who can relate to it, and who can find some self-worth in them. Look at themselves in the mirror and say, you know what? You screwed up, but it's okay. I have a great story, and hopefully I'll be able to share it with a little bit more organization, a little bit more point to it. But I still have a good story to share. I learned a lot in all these years, and I'm just glad that I'm a survivor of it. And I'm going to keep surviving, and every day I strive to be better than I was the day before. We're not always dealt good hands, but we can make a good fold at the end. Thank you. Have a good evening, everybody.